Hey, it's David Thomas with your morning devotion from Orchard Hills Church. Hope everybody's having a great start to their day. So today I want to talk to you about focusing on God, like focus on God, not on your problems, right? Well, you can, because what happens, when you have a problem in your life, you talk to your friends, maybe you talk to your family about it, and they just give you pity and they're just like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. And then everything just becomes about the problem, right? Well, think back on Daniel in the lion's den. And this is a great story, and not a lot of people really think of it in this regard, but it's very true. Is in the story of Daniel in the lion's den. You probably all know the story, right? They get thrown in the lion's den for obeying God, and what happened? God shut the lion's mouth and protected him. But one thing that it does say, which is very interesting, that we don't talk about a lot, is it says Daniel slept. He slept all night in the lion's den. So if he was focused on the lions, do you think he'd be sleeping? No, he crouched over in a corner somewhere, hoping the lions, don't sniff him out, right? No, he was focused on God. And it actually reminds me of a story that Dr. Stanley told. He was talked about, one time when he was back in his 30s, and a lady from his church had invited him to lunch and back to her apartment, which she was in her 70s. So, there was nothing funny going on. But he felt pretty safe. So he went to her, they went and had lunch with her, went to her apartment. And in there, she said, no, don't sit down. I want you to look at that wall. And on the wall, there was a picture of Daniel in the lion's den. And she said, now I want you to look at that picture and I want to tell me what you see. Right. And about this time, in Dr. Stanley's life, he was going through a really tough time. He said probably the toughest time he's gone through. He was going through, family issues, and then his church was trying to actually get rid of him at the time. And this lady, knowing some things that were going on in his life, told him to look at that picture and say, what do you see? And so he spotted out and, mentioned he saw the lions and he saw the bones on the ground and he saw this, he saw that. And she said, no, you're not seeing it. And she says, you see Daniel? What's he looking at? He said, he's looking up at a ray of light. He's looking up to God. And she said, right. So Daniel's focused on God because he knows that God is going to take care of his problems. Right. So the point is, when you focus on your problems, when you focus on the pain, the trouble you're going through right now, all it does is just grow it. Right. Daniel knew that God created those lions. Daniel knew that God could kill every one of those lions, right? If he wanted to. He could definitely, silence them. He could definitely shut their mouths where they couldn't harm him. And so we really need to remember that God always operates in principles. He operates on the basis of principles. We as humans, we want to operate on the basis of emotion, of feeling. God doesn't operate that way. He operates on principles. And one of the principles, we know this principle, for example, you reap what you sow, more than you sow, longer than you sow, right? Another principle is obey God and let him take care of the consequences. It also tells us that God acts on behalf of those who wait on him. So if you take those principles that I just mentioned, that God acts on behalf of those that wait on him, that if we obey God, he will take care of the consequences. So if that's true, it doesn't matter what's going on in my life. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. God will take care of that problem as long as we are acting on the godly principles he has put before us. I mean, you could take any problem that you could encounter. And I really, you could challenge me to do that. You might have to give me a minute, but you could take any problem and I guarantee you can deduce it down into a principle that you say, if you obey this principle, God will take care of the rest, and look what happens. Right? So is there anything God can't handle? There's not. There's nothing in this world that God can't handle. He created all, he controls all, he's omnipresent, he's omnipowerful. There's nothing he can't handle. So if you're a child of God, anything that happens in your life is allowed by God for a reason. So all you need to do is focus on God, not your problem, and let him take care of the rest. So remember that as you go throughout your day and throughout your week. And I hope this blessed you in some way today. If you got value from it, please like, comment, and share this with others. Definitely appreciate you tuning in. Look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.